2020 was a very tough and trying year, not for just one country, but for the whole world. As we know, a very unexpected virus caught the globe by surprise and changed our way of life as we know it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, companies shut down and schools closed nationwide, limiting access to food, medication, healthcare, and education, causing a worldwide panic. Fast forward to today, with the help of vaccines and advanced medical care, we've come a long way in our battle of ending this pandemic. Unfortunately, the virus mutated, rendering vaccines less effective and kids more vulnerable to this unknown disease. Kids are going to school and catching COVID at alarming rates. Hospital beds are filling up with kids across the country, raising uncertainty for parents and governments everywhere. At Mayat K-12, we took swift action and converted fully into online operations and brought private school to the doorsteps of children nationwide, providing free tutoring and countless hours of help to children, keeping your babies safe in their homes. We pride ourselves as the best private school to care for your children during these very trying times, and we expect another amazing year for our students across the country. Bring your child back to Mayat University because we care, we pay attention, and we love. Mayat K-12. Let's have another amazing year. Click the link below and enroll now.
Peace. Yes, as you know, we are offering the family the opportunities to protect you and yours. Please hit up the email if you have any further questions. Hit up the email redpillar75 at ProtonMail, redpillar75 at ProtonMail. If you need any assistance in the realms of protecting you and yours, either in the workplace or in the school. All right, there you have it. So, without any further ado, we want to present to you another episode of Melanin Mondays. You already know what it is. We are joined by our special guest, Mama Pill in the building.
Hey,
right.
Happy 2022 family. Happy to be here with Red Pill. Actually, this is his first broadcast since 2021. I think he said he took a hiatus for the month of December.
I took a well needed break. You know what I mean? And it was for, all the right reasons. You feel me? There was work to be done on the ground. Mm-hmm. There was work to be done, personal work. There's work to be done with the brand. Yeah. So we are back and we are refreshed. And I was like, you know what? I'm in the giving mood. I like to gift the people. And I know that one of the best gifts that I could give the people is to open up Melanin Mondays with Mama Pill with me. You feel me? To give y'all that good mama oracle energy and to announce that mama love, mm-hmm. and to make a special announcement that we are doing a workshop this month. Yes. You know what I'm talking about, for all of my 2022 resolution keepers.
Yes.
And the brothers and sisters that want to turn a new leaf in 2022. Yeah. Well, Mama Pill is here with some formulas for you. She's gonna get you jump started. But before we even begin with anything, you already know what we got to do. We got to do the roll call. I want to know who's in the building. You know what I'm talking about? So let's do the roll call, and then we're going to get into the conversation. We're not going to hold you. As you see, we're here early. We're trying newer things. You know what I mean? And this is a new leaf that we're turning. So let's do the roll call, and let's get things going. Shout out to Little Goddess in the building. Y'all give Little Goddess some emoji love. Give us some emoji love. Yeah, love and light to Little Goddess.
Love and light.
Love and light. Peace. Happy new fiscal.
Yes. Happy new wellness and fitness year.
That's right. All right. So here we go. We got West Phoenix in the building. All right. Shout out to West Phoenix.
Yes. Peace.
There is an event that we have coming up out there in Phoenix that we're going to be talking about too. Crystal Convergence That's another huge announcement, but I'm gonna keep them, I'm not gonna give y'all too much at once. But yeah, shout out to the Arizona 2222. We're gonna be out there with Lizzie Jeff, Red Pill, Blue Pill. It's gonna be lit. Illuminati Congo. It's gonna be lit. I promise you. So we want y'all to pull up. But we'll talk about that more. All right. Maryland is in the building. B-More's in the building. All right. Michigan is in the building. Denver's in the building. Indiana's in the building. DMV is in the building. Hinesville, Georgia, Philly. You know what I'm talking about? Charlotte is in the building. Shout out to Charlotte. Mama Pill, you getting you some love right there to give you love.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
Tyler, Texas, Cincinnati. All right.
Oh boy, I think those are some states where the temperatures really Arctic today.
That's right. That's right.
We're really gonna warm everybody up with some mother love.
That's
tonight.
Right. That's right. We're gonna give y'all some sun rays. You know.
Yes, for the south.
From the south. Yeah. You know, it's not necessarily summertime out here, even though it was yesterday. It was all good 24 hours ago. Now you say I had to break out the beaver. Oh no, what is this? The sable. Oh, hold on. The lion. Or the chinchilla. You know what I'm talking about? I had to break out the chinchilla because it's getting kind of nippy out here. It's nippy out here.
Frosty today.
A little frosty.
That is. Yeah.
Rhode Island in the building. Selma, Alabama in the building. Yes. Providence, Rhode Island. Burr. Yeah, Burr. It just sounds burry over there. Snow in Memphis. Burr. What are we doing, Memphis? You know what I'm talking about? Harlem in the building. Shout out to Harlem.
Oh yeah, Harlem, hometown Harlem.
Yeah.
Sending the love to the hometown Harlem family.
Yeah, that part. Crenshaw, what's happening?
I know. I hear it's freezing today in Harlem.
I heard it's freezing. Bompton in the building.
Arctic.
Bompton in the building. Shout out to Draco the ruler. Rising power to the young king. Spartanburg. So, to make a long story short, the family's in the building. We know that we are joined by family from around the world. This is a global affair. It's icy in Virginia. You know, I mean, we all collectively, you know, we had what they call an Indian summer. Mm-hmm. We are in January, and it was wild hot just a day ago. Yeah. So
about 4 days, we had 70-degree weather.
We had 70-degree weather 4 days straight. Huh?
In Atlanta, Georgia.
In Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about
Christmas Day was 75, right?
Christmas Day was 75. They was having barbecues. I thought we was in Miami, goddammit. It didn't feel it, you know what I mean? It felt weird, you know? Yeah.
People were walking around without coats.
Yes. So we're gonna get right into it.
Yes.
Right? Now, keep in mind, disclaimer, before we start this conversation, of course, you know we have to let you know we are on YouTube, and YouTube has censorship onto some of the things that you can say. So, you know, make a long story short, we'll be speaking in code if need be. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to not say what we need to say. We're not going to not talk to the family about the fact that there's a health crisis going on all around us right now. We're not going to address the fact that everybody got sick after Thanksgiving.
Not
so
everybody, but
a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
We didn't get sick.
We didn't get sick.
Right. So
I want to know, Mama Pill.
Yes.
While we're here and while the family has joined us and whatnot, and I'm sure, you know, people are somewhat curious as to why there are a spike in people, you know, succumbing to either what we know as the flu or what they may think is a new variant.
Okay.
Or
All right. So I'm gonna address the question by saying that all of this is showing us is that there's more that individuals need to be doing individually and collectively in the realm of prevention. Right. And that makes more common sense than anything else, right? Right. So the individuals that have been practicing prevention are the individuals that are not having symptoms such as respiratory congestion, fever, lack of appetite, chills. Those are like some basic symptoms I'm hearing people.
Right.
I'm hearing that over mass media, and I'm hearing it from individuals that I know, people who are calling me.
Right.
And so what I say to that is, there's still preventive behavior that an individual still needs to fine tune going forward.
Right.
Because there's such a huge population of individuals that have had these sort of what is called the pandemic symptoms,
right.
and they have successfully healed from those symptoms.
Right.
But the way they did it is they implement certain new nutritional protocols into their daily life, and that made all the difference of their body being able to recover from the symptoms that basically are, on the debilitating side
right.
once you experience them. So like I said, there've been a huge percentage of people that have successfully restored themselves back to wellness and health. However, on this platform, you'll hear about it. And there are other platforms you'll hear about it, but not so much the mainstream media. Not
right.
so much the main media. The main media still sort of is, reporting about how many people are in the state of temporary,
despair,
or temporary, who are experiencing the temporary, which with the conditions or the symptoms that are temporary. However, knowing what to do once your body is showing these symptoms
right.
is the key. So I've always recommended to people that when you have respiratory congestion, one of the foods that you must include in your daily regimen is the sea moss. I don't have it with me, but I do have a sea moss that was a sea moss that was basically the formula of a sea moss gel that I would prepare for Sabi. And the thing that people have to start understanding that they should be doing is, when you take something like a sea moss is something that your body benefits from because you're taking it every day.
Right.
You're not waiting until there's some kind of deficiency and your body starts showing you symptoms. You're taking it every day, because the old people used to incorporate sea moss into their daily dietary regimen every day.
Right.
Sea moss was used in soups to thicken the body of the soup. Sea moss was they would make puddings out of sea moss. They would add sea moss into ice cream, as the thickening agent, and
right.
then they would just take sea moss, just as the gel. You see what I'm saying? So, and take it as a tea. So this is what we used to give Sabi. Every morning when he woke up, he had a hot. We had a mug for him. And we would take the sea moss gel along with some other ingredients, and we would make him a hot tea. So it's just like if you make a Lipton tea. You have some hot water, and then you put the sea moss gel, 2-3 tablespoons of it in some hot water.
Right.
And then you could sweeten it, or you could just have it plain. So the up and coming workshop that Blue mentioned that we're having on.
Red,
I'm sorry. That we're having on the 16th of this month is to go over these things, because I used to always wonder why Sabi when he would be on a radio program, this was all before the internet. We were on radio, or we did live lectures. We did a lot of live lectures.
Right.
And I used to wonder why he would start out each lecture or each interview like repeating the same thing he did in the last interview or the last lecture. He was redundant. Right. And I used to, for a long time, I was saying, wow, why is he saying that again? He just, right. Because he said he cannot stand in front of an audience live or over the radio or on TV and assume that this is the same audience he had the last time. Right. He has to be speaking as though he's speaking to the individuals for the first time.
Right.
So I'm not going to assume that because CMOS has become very popular internationally in terms of now an incorporated food, that there's still individuals that don't know really how to prepare it correctly so that they're achieving or receiving all the nutritional minerals and other elements in the CMOS, or that people don't. There are people who don't necessarily know the variety of ways that they can incorporate CMOS in their daily dietary regimen for themselves and for their family. So Mama Phil is going to be going over that. And see, I'm real old school. So I'm a great grandmother. So I'm speaking to all of you as a great grandmother with that ancient great grandmother energy. So our great grandmothers and grandfathers, what they practiced was prevention.
Right.
Anybody who has a grandmother or an auntie that's alive, that's 60, because I'm 66, that's my age or older, you sit them down, start talking to them, asking them, what did your grandmother do? Do you remember any stories about what her mother did? And everybody, trust me, everybody is going to tell you that, oh yes, my granny gave me castor oil, every day or once every 4 months. Everybody's going to tell you a story about how they were living in a household where culturally the elders were still practicing prevention.
Right.
They were not waiting until a person got sick. They were preventing sickness.
Right.
So it only makes sense that worked then, and so it works now. And I'm big on prevention. So everybody should have CMOS in their house, and they should be using it every day. And I also tell people, this is part of what the workshop is going to be about, because people are talking about the CMOS. However, CMOS has many different nutritional classifications. And one of them is, I tell people, I say, look up the word demulcent. CMOS is a demulcent. And so when you look it up, you're going to see that the meaning of a demulcent is an agent, a chemical agent that goes into the body and it soothes the body. It soothes the body's membrane, which is the internal skin of the body. So if the membrane is being damaged by high acidity in the body, CMOS is going to go in and work like a fire extinguisher or water and quell the fire, put it out.
Yes.
And so so when they're saying that people are having respiratory imbalances, respiratory damage, where there's a lot of mucus and substance that's impeding oxygen and breathing, proper breathing, then it only makes sense that you have something in your dietary regimen that is going to prevent that. Or if you have it, it's going to correct that.
Right.
And of course, along with that, people have to be drinking really good water. So fortunately, Red Pill and I, and Blue, most of my family is here. KT, my elder daughter, she's here. We have access to real living water in Atlanta because we're up in the we're in the mountains. We're 900 feet above sea level. So We're not at sea level. We're 900 feet above sea level in a forest in a mountainous area where there's water coming down off of mountains. So there's a lot of living water here. So it's important that you drink water that is nourishing water. So I tell people, when you're in a state that you don't have living water running and you can't capture it by going to a stream, or you don't have a company that's delivering it like we have in Atlanta. We have a couple of families here that are in the water business. They deliver water to you, or you can go on their site and get it. Then Fiji is a water. It's a very good water. It's a water that Sabi loved it, you know, when he was traveling. So you have to drink water, people, because water is a cleanser. Water is a solvent, right? So if you are having situations in your body where some type of invader is now in you and is wreaking havoc, water is going to be one of the things that's going to help your body to get it out.
Let me ask you a question. Now that you brought up water, and this was spoken of on Brother Richard's platform, and I do want to mention it on this platform because I don't want to be under the impression that everybody saw that broadcast. So I do want to share this cheat code that you have that has helped a lot of people in their regiment when you said it. And you know, it goes back into, you know, this quote unquote 22 new you, you know what I mean? Because what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get up here and start throwing shots at anybody who has quote unquote, you know, expectations, or, you know, if they're giving out their, you know, their quote unquote, what they're going to do for the year and whatnot. I'm going to support that. We're going to push that. You said something about when to drink water at night and in the morning. Can you share that? About how to remove waste and whatnot. What is the proper way to consume?
So, you know, there's a video that's on YouTube that I did over 8 years ago with you and your brother in Harlem on Sarnetta's channel. And so one of the things I always like to do when I'm on a platform is give people as much information, tools, and sources so that people can start their own transformation of wellness and fitness, right? So I always would end the interview by, you know, because usually, you know, sometimes they would say, okay, Mama Phil, what do you recommend that what the people do? So in addition to, oh yes, I'm an herbalist, you know, I mean, I'm an herbalist. I do formulate herbal tonics. What I also tell people to do in the event that people don't say, you know, not everybody wants to even, you know, maybe not interested in the herbal tonics that I formulate. I always tell people to incorporate clean, living, nutritious water in their regimen. And that's it. It's a YouTube video that confirms that. That's over 8 years old. Now, I'm gonna tell you how I also am, and this is the way Sabi was too, because I watched Sabi since 1981 up until 2015. I think was the last time I saw him here in Atlanta at the Georgia Congress Center. The one thing about Sabi that I'm telling you, I know for a fact because I was there and I saw him, is that he was always open to information. He was never saying, "Oh, I know everything."
Right.
Nobody can tell me nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like that too. I don't know everything. Right. I am open to people. It could be a child. It could be an elder. It could be somebody, you know, mid-age. Information and knowledge can come from any group. You see, any age group, any ethnicity. So the other day, I met a gentleman here in Atlanta, and he's an herbalist, and he makes these fantastic herbal drinks. So he looks very, very vital, very alive, very young, you know. And so in addition to his herbal drinks, he was saying that there's a way that he drinks water. So I was like, oh, really? What's that? So he said, water is not for sipping, you know, throughout the day. Right. Water is for flushing the body. It's for helping the body flush itself. So he said that in the morning upon rising, and we used to recommend people do this too, right. He drinks a quart of water. And the quantity, he said, is very important. So in the morning, we would tell people to do, like anywhere from an 8 to 16 ounce of water with some fresh lime in the water to do a flush.
Right.
Right. And the lime sort of creates like an acid alkaline balance in the stomach.
Right.
But this brother said, no, he goes beyond 16 ounces and he does a whole quart, because he says that the stomach is operating on the same principle of the toilet bowl.
Right.
The bowl part.
Volume.
Yeah, that bowl part that holds that maybe like a gallon. It's probably maybe a gallon or two of water. And he said, when you drink the right quantity of water in the morning, that's the first thing you put in. It helps to flush everything down and out the same way when you flush the toilet bowl, and that amount of water and pressure pushes everything down the sewage pipe into the sewage. And he was saying he drinks water based on that same principle of the water mechanism, the hydroponic mechanism of the body, the hydrotherapy of the body. And then at night before he goes to bed, he does a quart again, so that while he's sleeping, the body is taking that water and it's working like a solvent to break down, or maybe loosen up something in the gastrointestinal tract, which is, some 60-something inches from the small to the large intestine. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. So, of course, when I get information, I like to acknowledge that I got the information from the individual. This brother's name is Novak Young. I like to say, who I learned something from. And then I like to implement the information, because, it's nothing like getting information and knowledge and then using it. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
And then passing it on.
Facts.
Yeah, and passing it on. So that is the latest useful bit of information that I've gotten from another herbalist here in Atlanta recently. I met him 4 months ago, and I've been telling that to everybody I know, all my clients, new and old. And that's something that I'm suggesting to everyone who's listening tonight, because everybody can afford to buy good water, especially when you prioritize and you understand and you stop buying, say, the sugary drinks. You see what I'm saying? And you say to yourself, okay, for the whole month of January, I'm not going to buy any sugary drinks. I'm not going to buy any bottled drinks. I'm going to just drink water.
Right.
I'm going to just drink water. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then watch in 30 days how your body is going to give you signs that this is a good thing you're doing.
Right.
It's going to show you it's a good thing you're doing. So this is a good New Year resolution. Something that everybody can afford is water. Is clean, nutritious water. And I think everybody should gift themselves that. And the parents of these little children should be the ones that teach children the good habit of water drinking.
Right, okay? Right.
So.
Beautiful. I appreciate that. And for everybody that decides to take the information and actually apply it, please don't be shy and testify. Give your testimonies.
Right.
Hit us up. Hit us on the email. Let us know that this is helping either you or the children. Yeah. Because when people are constipated and there's problems with impotency and other things and diarrhea, they contact us. They let us know that they need help. So, let's balance it out.
Things you can do at home.
Yes, things that you can do at home.
Yes.
When let's get to things that we can do at home and other things that we could do as a community. When you hear January, New Year's resolutions, when you hear, the beginning of the first quarter, a lot of people are trying to work off that holiday weight. A lot of people are trying to work off a lot of the stress from 2021 or the year before.
So what I realized, let me just say something about that holiday, because you asked me what did I think about this escalating sickness that's going on. What I have noticed every year, and this is way like way back in the 70s, I was noticing this, is that right after Thanksgiving feast, and I don't need to mention to our people what is on the table for Thanksgiving feast. Christmas feast, a repeat of the feast. The items that are cooked on Thanksgiving repeat themselves. They cook them again in the kitchen for Christmas. Then, not even 30 days later, they repeat the same meals on the table for New Year's. Now, in the past is when I noticed that people would come down with symptoms of sickness that they didn't have in the fall or in the summer or in the spring. And then people would be saying, because back then they were saying that people got the flu. That's what they would call it, the flu.
That was the name.
Everybody had the flu. Well, not everybody, but majority of people got the flu. But it would happen right after all of this food consumption. Yes. So I was looking for the same thing to happen this year, and it did. Right after people ate all of that, all the animal flesh that they eat for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve is when the body starts to express these symptoms.
That's right.
Because let me tell you, one of the diseases that are afflicting the majority of the population in the United States, and I'm only talking about the United States because that's where I mostly reside, is constipation.
The lack of being able to get rid of the waste.
Oh my goodness. Yes. That people talking about other things as being a pandemic or epidemic. How about constipation? That is like a major problem for the majority of people.
Can't poop.
And can't poop. And then the other thing is that there's a huge population of people who are suffering from various forms of anemia, which have to do with blood, which has to do with components of the blood, the hemoglobin of the blood. Now, I'm not going to do class here because that's what the workshops are for in the future, but you can hear these words and you can ask Google what these words mean. Okay, so you having people who are majority constipated, so they're putting about 40 pounds of food in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're putting about 40 pounds of food, mostly animal flesh and starch. And they're already clogged up and stopped up already.
So it's just compounding.
And they're a little bit more sedentary because now it's cold and they're more inside. They're not really outside in the sun moving around. And then they're drinking the alcohol because the alcohol goes along with the animal flesh and the starches and the sugar, and all the artificial flavorings. All of this goes along. All of this is what people consume over that November, December, and January time frame. And then people start coming up with these symptoms. You see what I'm saying?
To this day.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, just look at some basic things that people are habitually doing that perhaps we need to stop doing them, because many of the people who don't do those things anymore don't suffer the symptoms during this time of the year.
Beautiful. Somebody in the chat brought it up, and I also want to ask too, as we move along and give people the basics, because you'd be surprised how many people don't even comprehend the basics.
I know,
and that's no offense to anybody like I said, I am not here to judge because this is not something that we speak about.
Because there are a lot of people who do know the basics, but there are a lot of people who don't.
That's right. So we are just feeding, those who need to be fed. I want to know from you about fasting. I want to know what is the quote unquote, what's mandatory when it comes to fasting. Let's say that I don't know anything about fasting, and I'm hearing about it, and I just want to try it out one day.
Right.
Like, how long would I have to withstand eating food or drinking for me to consider being in a fast? And what are some of the benefits that will help our brothers and sisters? Because they tell us to not eat is to be like you're starving, you poor. If you go to bed hungry,
So listen. I heard Sabi say this for the first time in 1981 when I met him. He's the first one I heard say we're eating 3 meals a day and we're starving to death.
Right. Malnourished.
I said what? He said, in America, the people are eating 3 meals a day. They're eating from the standard American diet
SAD
model,
diet, right?
The SAD diet, the model, right? That pyramid, right?
Yes.
But they're starving to death. I said, whoa, that is serious. What does he mean by that? So then he went on to say, he used to say, like, the only real food in the supermarket is a coconut. Everything else in the supermarket is engineered.
Hybrid,
it's engineered. So, they have these acronyms now, GMO,
fancy, yeah.
What is the other one? Junk food, fast food,
processed food.
But all that means is it's not real.
Basically,
it's not real. It is mineral and nutrient deficient. Right. Most of it doesn't have any moisture in it. Most of it is dry, boxed. The part of it that is that would have moisture in it is all the canned stuff, right? But then the contents is dead.
Right.
And then whatever is frozen, that's dead too.
Right.
So the food is dead. The food doesn't have the life sustenance in it that is needed in the body's 500 plus cells, trillion cells, in order for those cells to operate on a level of intelligence that the creator created the cell to operate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's when you're eating non-nutritious stuff that is being sold to you as food, then your body is suffering from malnutrition.
Right.
Yeah, it's suffering from malnutrition. And then most of this stuff that is made by men and women in cahoots with the men, okay? Because it ain't just the men doing it alone. They have their female counterparts that are in cahoots with them, and they create this stuff, right? Now, the problem with that is not only are you suffering from malnutrition, then you're suffering from malabsorption because the body don't know what to do with the stuff. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't know what to do with it because chemically it's not even coded to recognize this stuff. So the thing I used to learn from Sabi, because he was talking and teaching all the time, was a whole new vocabulary, a whole new nomenclature, because I didn't know about anatomy and physiology and biology and chemistry the way he did, but he used to talk it all the time in a way that you could comprehend it. And because he was redundant, you what you didn't get the first time, maybe you saw him 6 times. By the time you saw him on the 6th time, you say, oh wow, okay, all right, so my body's not digesting these artificial ingredients. My body is not absorbing the artificial ingredients. My body is not assimilating these artificial ingredients. It's not metabolizing this stuff. So you see? Yeah, and you say, so I'm being duped.
Right.
This ain't food. But then he didn't leave you hanging, because he would say, the carrot is a designer food, broccoli is a designer food, cabbage, because you never find those things in the wild. Never,
right.
You won't find them in the wild. You have to go to a seed store and get the pellets. So then he used to quote Genesis 1:29.
Right.
Where it talks about God said, I have given you all the herbs, and the herbs shall, be for healing. And then I have given you every fruit that bears seed of itself, and it shall be your meat. Bears seed of itself.
Right.
And this is supposed to be God's word.
Right. Right.
It's in the Bible. So how is it that the description could be that distinct?
That's facts.
That the fruit of a tree should bear fruit of itself, and that should be your meat. Not seedless watermelon and seedless grapes. You see what I'm saying? So Sabi would say the food that God created for us, and he would speak about us being coded genetically for coconuts, mangoes, soursop, kamut, teff, okay?
Right.
Amaranths, black wild, the wild rice, the quinoa, right? And when I met him in the 80s, he was the one talking that these were the ingredients that we should be incorporating in our cupboards.
Right.
I didn't know anybody else.
Right.
Telling me about no quinoa until I met him. Right. Nobody was telling me about teff. Right. And he was the first one that ever introduced me to Ethiopian food, where he brought the vegetarian platter back, and I thought I was in heaven. I had these collard greens, didn't have no ham hocks in them, and it was the best collard greens I've had in my life.
Let me share something.
Oh my God.
If you want to activate ancient DNA, shout out to Akibalan 44 in the building. What's good, my guy?
Yeah.
Shout out to Akibalan. Shout out to Blue Pillar. Shout out to KT the Archery. If you want to wake up, especially if you have any type of phenotypical or what you may feel is genealogical ties to Ethiopia or the Coptic regions, eat the veggie platter. Eat their grains. Go and eat their food. It will turn on something. It will release something inside of what they call junk DNA. I promise you. Immediately. I
remember, because I didn't know what teff was until he brought me some Ethiopian food, and I had the Nigeria, the bread, right? Man. And he said, okay, he told me, he said, listen, Anita, because he called me by my Annette name in Spanish. He said, look, Nita, this is how you eat it. You eat it like you would a burrito,
right?
With hands, what's that? It up. Yeah, what's that flat thing they make? The Mexican
tortilla.
Oh yeah, he said you eat it the same way you would eat some refried beans with the tortilla.
Right.
Right. Just tear it and pick the food up. Okay.
Right.
And I did that, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. This is so good.
Right.
So all I'm saying is that now, fast forward. In 2020, I mean, we got all kind of vegan chefs using all these ingredients, right, to make delicious meals. Delicious. But in 1975, trust me.
Rice cakes?
Trust me. What nobody, you know what everybody was on in
rice
75? They called, everybody who was a vegetarian in 75 was following the microbiotic diet. Okay. That's who everybody was following. And Sabi beat up on that. He beat up on that because that was Japanese.
Right.
And he was saying all those ingredients. Okay, so that was the tofu. That was the soy. That was the a certain kind of rice.
The rice cakes came with that, though.
Yeah, and the rice vinegar and the plum sauce and a couple of other things. And Sabi was like, "No, baby, that ain't what you're supposed to be eating. That microbiotic stuff is for them Japanese.
Right. That ain't
this
for
stuff
us.
here on this list.
Right.
This is what you. First of all, we didn't have a list in the beginning.
Right.
He used to talk it.
Right.
When we do the consultation, he would talk it. And maybe personally, he would write down what that person or that couple would eat. And then later on, we had one of our clients named Gwen Perry. She worked for the bank. And the word processor was out then.
Right.
Because it was the typewriter, then it was the word processor. There wasn't even no computer out then. And one day Gwen said, hey, would you like me to type out that list for you? Because y'all just keep talking it to the people. I'll type it. Okay? And she was the first one that made the first food list.
Right.
For the Ogun Herbal Research Institute, because that's what it was when she first came there.
Right.
It was Gwen Perry. She was a friend of Leroy Baylor, who's a talk radio host in New York City.
Leroy.
He does Respect for Life, Books That Matters, and he does The Communicator.
Right.
Look, you can YouTube him.
Make sure y'all hit these like buttons. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure, hit the like button.
They like what we saying?
Hit the Cash App button.
Y'all like what we saying?
Hit the share button. Hit the quote-unquote subscribe button for anybody that's not subscribed to this channel. Right. I'm sitting here. I'm getting Urban X vibes. I know Black Dot and his son is the top father and son podcast. You know what I mean? But I think we might be finding ourselves a niche right here. We might be, you know what I'm talking about? Yo. Somebody go and tell Black Dot and Malcolm that we on their heels. They got some competition up in here.
We got the Mama Pill love and the sign.
Yeah, the big stepper.
The Mama
you know what I'm
Pill
talking about?
and the sign.
That's right, big stepper.
2022.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, we step on things like Craig's dad. Yeah, that part. Don't play with us.
Just ask them if there's something
who wants to smoke with me?
Is there something that somebody wants to know that I haven't talked about? Because I'm not going to be on the entire broadcast family.
Oh, yeah.
Because Mama Pill gets into her hibernation in the wintertime, and you could ask Red Pill, I'm in bed. I'm going to bed by 9 o'clock.
Well, that was the last question I was finna ask you. Because we're going to be here just for an hour. We have 48 minutes. You know, we kind of getting to the point. You know, time flies when you're dropping bars.
Yeah, when you're telling the truth.
When you're telling the truth. Winter time.
Right.
First quarter, right?
Oh, the fasting. You were asking me about the fasting. Yes. Okay, so fasting can mean many things to many different people.
I'm sorry.
No, so fasting means that somebody is going to be changing up the way they normally eat. And sometimes what fasting means to many people today that do fasting is that they're not going to eat the cooked food. Right. They're going to do liquid. They're going to do a liquid menu every day.
Or you could do salads. Some people go green fast.
And then some people go, I'm not going to do cooked food. I'm going to do raw food.
Right.
So really, that's not really fasting. Because fasting is when you, I believe, you abstain from solid foods.
Right.
For a long period of time, hours, and then you eat something.
Right, and you break your fast.
Right, you break your fast because that's what break fast is.
This what was told to me, and this what got me in line. It was told to me that fasting is sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
that's what Ramadan is.
That's what Ramadan is. So if let's say that you want to attain a certain type of body shape. Let's say that you want to attain a certain type of wealth standard. Let's say that you want to attain a certain type of peace of mind. What are you willing to give up? Here you go, pulling on the hem of my garment, asking me, shaking your cup, you begging ass humans, asking me for something. So the spirit, huh?
No, there's so I'm not as Bible literate as most people,
right?
But there's a story in the Bible. And it may be about Jesus who did a fast.
Of course, 40 days. Yeah. What?
Yeah,
no. It was he did.
See, I'm not biblically, literate like that. But I know people who could spit out exactly where
Corinthians,
it is, what chapter, what verse, and everything. So
Corinthians 2:48.
Right. So I have seen individuals like fast for a day. Fast for 3 days where they don't eat anything because they're doing something that they read out of the Bible.
Right.
So that's fasting when you're not eating solid, you're not eating foods, you're just being with yourself.
Right.
I think the most they do is they drink water. right?
Right.
But that's it. That's
okay.
it.
Question.
So Sabi used to do Ramadan every year, but he did it where he didn't eat all day for all those hours.
Yes.
And then he broke it with
nightfall.
Yeah, with nightfall with
Sunset.
the herbal tonics.
Right. Okay.
And
so
water.
what I wanted to ask you, and also to add on, is that people are taking social media fast. People are taking fast from talking.
Oh.
People are taking fast from listening to certain frequency music.
Yeah.
There's men that are taking fast from watching pornography and stuff like that, or just unfollowing certain type of unsavory individuals on their timeline.
Okay. So generally, with Ramadan, the fast. Okay, the sacrifice is to disconnect from the worldly things.
Yes.
And all day long, you are acknowledging your Creator.
Right.
And you are giving thanks to your Creator.
Right.
All those hours of the day.
Right. Got your dick of beads.
Yes. Yes.
You're in full appreciation, submission, and gratefulness.
Yes. Which is a beautiful thing.
It is.
To me. Which is a beautiful thing. So generally people who do so then I know also Muslim brothers in the Nation of Islam who they just eat one meal a day.
Right.
They eat one meal a day. One major meal a day, and that's it.
Right.
So a lot of them, like when I was in the 60s, I lived in Harlem. I used to notice them on 125th Street and on 116th Street because the mosque number 7 is there.
Right.
And I used to say, wow, I used to look at them as a little girl and I say, wow, because they had this radiance and glow. And they were so clean and immaculate in those suits and the bow tie and everybody. And they just spoke so politely to you when they would be selling Muhammad Speaks. And you noticed that because there was something different about them. But then I found out they do the one meal a day.
Right. You
see what I'm saying? And they do a lot of day fasting, like 1 to 2, 3 days fasting. You know what I'm saying? And that is because they're on a spiritual realm. Discipline. They're in a spiritual realm. So it's a spiritual discipline. But people of other spiritual disciplines do the same thing too.
Facts.
So let's say you do fasting in the wintertime and you say, okay, so in the wintertime, this winter, I'm going to be practicing eating a dietary regimen where I'm only eating the real food and I'm not going to be participating in the fabricated foods or the fragmented foods like the cakes and pies and cookies and candy and ice cream, and the fast foods. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm going to just put real foods in my body because first of all, my body is having to acclimate to the change of the season.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
And generally it's acclimating from warm air to cold air.
Yes.
So the body is trying to maintain a certain thermal heat inside to keep you comfortable.
Right.
So I'm going to eat to promote that, to support that, to help the body have the power and the strength to sustain a certain thermal heat inside of me so that I can make it through the winter comfortably, be warm and comfortable. And then, boom, here's springtime.
Dope. So this is going to be the last question. I want to let the family know who may have just got in here. We're about 700 deep. Make sure y'all hit the like button, show love to the channel, subscribe, share the broadcast. And we have a workshop coming up in 2 weeks featuring Mama Pill. Mama Pill of Dr. Sabi apprentice, Dr. Sabi fame. She was part of that whole court case. She's been healing. She's been helping.
I was indicted.
She was indicted.
Part of the court case. I was a respondent. I was indicted. Yeah. I just didn't get arrested like he did. I turned myself in with my lawyer.
Yeah, I'm on the run. So she's gonna be teaching the family the things to do coming up.
Prevention.
prevention. She's going to be teaching herbal tinctures. She's going to be teaching food prep. There's going to be a lot going into this workshop. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be very heavy. And we also have Blue Pillar, her wonderful, intelligent, super duper scientifical son. He will be with us as well. So you're going to get 3 pills for the price of 1. There's an early bird ticket sale going on. The link is in the description. Go to Eventbrite and put Health is Wealth 2022, and you'll be able to get the ticket. But it's right there in the description under you. So go ahead and get your early bird ticket. That's going to be coming up January 16th, because after that we got things going on with the Sabi film, and that we're going to be busy. We really not even going to be out there on the grid like that, because for the winter time we fall back and we hibernate, especially as we get more in touch with ourselves as, you know, Netaroos in nature. It's a good time, right?
Yeah, to get into your physical wellness. We have a brother we're working with named Bijong, BJ. He does body stretching, but he particularly works with the fascia of the body. So I'm not going to get into all of that tonight. That'll be part of the workshop. I'm going to talk about my benefits from BJ, Bijong. I think it's Stretch Flex. His method is called. Anyway, that'll be part of the workshop.
Somebody want to know, when can we expect your book published, Mama Pill?
Oh yeah, so that's going to be coming out shortly. Shortly. Mama Pill's been working on it. It's coming out shortly. It's going to be out soon.
And for the question, yes, this is via Zoom. I'm sorry, Mama. Yeah. It's not going to be a live event for the first one. For this one, of course, we're going to do the workshop via Zoom online. We may open it up for small public in Atlanta when we do it. It's tentative, but y'all know what's going on outside and things of that nature and whatnot. You know, I don't even got to get into it, but we'll be online. Y'all need this information. We moving into a very precarious time in 2022. All kind of tricks are coming out. You don't know what's going on. You're going to want to sit at the feet of the elder who got the answers to get you out the mazes, and Zelda, and also the young elder Blue Pill as well. And I'm going to tell you, my part, I'll just be doing a little weight loss journey.
Oh, okay. All right. But listen, another thing I'm doing for the month of January, right? Because I know people are globally into a global consciousness of health resolution. They have the New Year resolution. It's global. It's a mass consciousness. It's a way that many of the people throughout the planet are thinking right now. I was watching the news. They were talking to the people. What's your New Year resolution? Oh, to lose weight. Oh, to be healthier. Oh, to do more exercise. Oh, to improve my diet.
Right.
Okay, so Greenleaf Herbal Solution, that's my brand, right? That's a company that formulates the formulas, the herbal formulas. So this month I'm going to I have a special.
Beautiful.
On my site, greenleaf-herbs.com. Normally we make the 4-ounce blood tonic, right? But this month we're selling the 8-ounce blood tonic for the same price as the 4-ounce. Okay. That's what we're doing until the end of January. That's what we're doing.
And what's it's greenleaf-herbs.com. Let me write that out.
And then on Instagram, you can follow me, get more information about the specials at Greenleaf Herbs. That's the Instagram. Greenleaf Herbs.
That's it right there, right?
Yeah.
Hyphen.
Yeah. Greenleaf, and then there's a hyphen, herbs.com. That's the website. Yes.
All right. So real quick, I got to pay the sponsors. A word for my sponsors. Shout out to my good brothers over at Netter Sports. All right. Netter Sports commercial coming soon. Shout out to my good brothers at Netter Sport doing the athleisure for our brothers and sisters, our young Netaroos and whatnot. Shout out to Blue Pillar and Akibulon. They have What's the Science podcast. That's coming to this channel. Know the Ledge Media. Shout out to them with their new podcast. It's lit. Their first interview is with Dr. Ayibo. All right. A super legend. Okay. And like I said, tap in with Ma'at University for those exemptions and that paperwork and things of that nature. Get with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't play games with these people. All right. For my early birds, whoever gets the tickets this week, we are going to put the year in review. The lecture that we just did on New Year's Eve, we're going to put the year in review free for anybody that is getting their tickets in this next week. All right. So take full advantage of it. That's about 4 hours and change.
How about the 100th ticket buyer gets to dine with Mama Pill and the Pills?
At
one of our favorite restaurants, our vegan restaurants in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, this is some new drip right here.
100 ticket buyer gets to dine with Mama Pill and Blue Pill and Red Pill at our favorite vegan spot in Atlanta.
Y'all heard that? The 100 ticket buyer, y'all get to dine with Red and Blue Pill. If you from Boise, Idaho, we'll bring you in on Greyhound or the China bus. And you get to come pull up. You know what I'm talking about? You get to come and pull up. And we got you. But yeah, the 100 ticket holder, you are going to dine with Red, Blue, and Mama Pill exclusively. Yeah. You might even be dining for some home cooked food, you know, whatever. But we're gonna hook you up. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get options. You get options. But let's tap in. Link in the bio. Mama Pill can cook, y'all. Mama Pill is a graduate of the natural. No, really. Because so one of the things is in 2022, I'm gonna be doing cooking demos on, nice little quick things on Instagram. So follow me on the green leaf herbs, because I'm going to be doing it just showing little basic simple things, because I can't take it. I can't assume that everybody knows. Right. I'm not going to do that. So I graduated the chef program at the Natural Gourmet School of Cooking, Natural Cooking in 1993. So. When they was doing gourmet rice cakes, it wasn't even. I promise you, y'all don't know how far my diploma we have gained in this vegan food thing. Mm-hmm. She was making gourmet rice cakes. No, I never did rice cakes. You never did rice cakes? No, I used to make you guys gourmet pizzas. Remember? Gourmet pizzas, y'all, on Thomas English muffins. So, guys, it's my hour's up, right? My hours. They were sliders. She was making us pizza on English muffins. Nah, we out though. Yeah. Yo, KT, get at us. Blue Pill, get at us. Are they listening? No. Love and light to the family. We will see y'all on Third Eye Thursday. Yes. Like I said, we want to say, for everybody that's coming into this new fiscal year, we hope and pray, we send in love and light to everyone out there. We want y'all to be in the best physical, mental, emotional, spiritual and health. Acknowledge your God. Right. Acknowledge your God. That's part of what's missing. You got to acknowledge your creator, your God. You have to do that. That's part of what your wellness and your wellness is going to be about. Acknowledging that intelligence that created us all, right? Because that intelligence is love, okay? That's right. So part of all of this is the absence of love that people have for themselves and one another. So we need to be practicing that love vibration, and because when you are moving in God's love, right, you are going to be treating people with a love energy, okay? That's facts. And that's going to be healing people. That is a fact. All right. So we need to be doing more of that, where we are loving each other, caring for each other, respecting each other, having compassion for one another, kindness. Very important. That's a much better vibratory state to be in than to be angry, envious, jealous, hateful, full of strife. Right. And resentment and revenge. Those are very low vibration energy. Right. And when you operating like that, something foreign could get inside of you and really jack you up some more. Okay. You really be attracting something like harmful and demonic to really get inside and really harm you. That's right. A lot of people who are sick, I hate to say,
are operating in these realms where they're angry, they're resentful, they're holding on to something that somebody said to them when they were 5 years old. You see what I'm saying? And they're still angry about it. It's over. You can't change it. You know?
And,
so part of this thing is, I'm telling you, part of this thing for this world population is people need to be getting into forgiveness.
Yes.
Getting into their God consciousness.
Right.
And showing and letting your God know that you appreciate the fact that you have awakened another day and you are alive.
That's right. That's right.
Because some people don't have any gratefulness for that. They're not grateful for anything. They're constantly complaining. I ain't got enough of this. I ain't got enough of that. He said this. She said that. I ain't got that. I ain't got this. He don't want me. She don't want me.
All that.
All that.
All that.
All that low base consciousness, dead stuff. Like we have an elder friend. He just said the people are dead. Dead.
Right. So even with that being said, because January, we're going to be dealing with Mama Pill with the workshop, but going right into February, right? Going right into February, March, and April, we're dealing with healing. 22 is a 6-year. We were active with healing in 2021, but now that we're in Atlanta, the Pill family, we're collectively going to be doing things where we're going to be taking the family to actively participate in healing, real healing, dealing with things that you need to deal with. Yeah. But we got to deal with certain other things first, like your regimen, getting your mind right, getting your body right, you know, dealing with, like Mama said.
Yeah, don't come to us dehydrated. At least get the water.
At least get the water in you. Yeah.
Don't come to us all dehydrated, dried up on the inside, all glued up, stuck together, angry, constipated. At least get the water thing as a discipline.
Facts.
Okay? At least do that.
Facts.
Okay?
And we will tap back into Love and Light, like I said. Hit the Cash App, hit the like button, and all of that other extracurricular stuff that the family does. Leave a tip at the dinner table. Hit the link. Love and Light. I'll see y'all Third Eye Thursday. Peace. All right? Peace.
Love.